Hi, and welcome to my old school classic blues lick of the month for July 2015. And in this lesson I'm going to show you a lick that I took from the playing of T-Bone Walker. I can't remember the exact song, I just remember it was in the key of G, and this is a lick that I've used in a lot of different ways in my own playing, and I'll show you one example of that here when we get done. So a typical T-Bone Walker tune, let me give you some framework before I show you the actual lick. In the key of G, he's got a 1-4-5. Usually he uses a G, ninth, first position, ninth. Then on the 4 he goes to a C ninth, and then the 5 he's got a D ninth. And there's one tune, I can't remember the name of the song. I heard this pretty early on in my guitar career, and I wish I remembered the song. I looked for it and I couldn't find it, but I remember learning this lick. And let me show it to you. So when the song goes to the 5, so a typical T-Bone Walker thing might go like this. And that lick that I did is just the same chord moved all around, I'll show you the movement here. It's an augmented chord, so I think it's a D augmented, which makes sense because you start playing it over the 5, which is a D9. And I've got my ring finger on the D, which is the 5th fret of the 5th string. I've got my 2nd finger on the 4th fret of the 4th string, and then I take my 1st finger and I flatten it out and get both the 2nd and 3rd strings at the 3rd fret. Now when he plays this, the way I showed you, it sounds to me like he's strumming down 5, 4, and then hitting the next 2 strings together, the 2nd and 3rd strings together, so it's like this. So he does something like this. And what I'm doing is just moving it down, or up 2 frets, up 2 more, down 2, and then back to my starting position, and then down 2 more, and then back to the 1. So like this. And then he wraps up the verse with the typical T-Bone Walker single string type runs. Now, not having the original recording there, you can vary the picking pattern on that. That was a little sloppy, but you can do all kinds of different stuff with the picking. But that idea is something that I've heard. I heard T-Bone Walker use it, and I've heard a couple of contemporary guitar players. Junior Watson, I think I heard, use this kind of lick before. And I used it on a recording that my group and I did a couple of years ago. It's called Cruel Lovin'. It's on YouTube. Cruel, C-R-U-E-L, Lovin'. It's by the Moore Brothers. And that tune is kind of an up-tempo rhythm and blues, like a shuffle thing in A, a tune like this. And I did the part of the solo in the context of that. So the simple rule, if you're going to use that in other keys, you could use it in G, A, B flat, C, B, D. You can't really use an F because you can't go down the neck that far. But you start on the 5, augmented, and then up 2 more, back 2, back 2, back 2, and then to the 1. So that's kind of a neat lick idea there. And again, I can't remember the name of the tune. It was a T-Bone Walker song. It was in G, and I remember hearing him do that and just thinking, wow, that's cool. And I thought it would be really complicated, but it's really not. It's just moving that same chord to different spots. So that is the lick of the month for the month of July 2015, and I will be back in August with another classic old school lick, something that hopefully you can use in your own playing, or you can use to figure out some tunes that you'd like to listen to. If you have any questions, comments, let me know. I'll see you in a month.